Welcome back to another episode of Hot Mess Espresso. You guys, we have our very first guest on the podcast. My husband Will is joining us, and it's been heavily requested. So we are going to ask the questions, and he's going to give us the answers. Let's get into it. Hello.
Hello.
Oh my God. You nervous?
No.
Oh, that's good. I am. I'm terrified. So we've been together, once this airs, 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
We've been married for 2.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you that are doing the math, we have both borderline and military affiliations in our relationship. So really, we made pretty good time. Because we started dating in July of 2020. We got the dog in September.
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much moved right in.
Yep, you did not go home once I got the dog.
We went from I think we'd had maybe 2 or 3 sleepovers, and then you wanted a dog. So we got the puppy, and I was just like, "Oh, you can't have a dog in a crate for 12 hours when she's just a little puppy. I'll watch her during the day." And then that just kind of turned into my stuff, and then my cat slowly moving in.
Yep.
So, yeah, we moved in after 2 months of dating.
Was it that short?
Yeah.
That was 4 or 5. Oh.
No, I had gotten rid of my apartment around 4 or 5.
Oh. I'm bad at timelines.
You're fine. And then we got engaged 3 days before our 9-month anniversary. Because you had just gotten back from training.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got married in August of 2021.
Sure did.
Which really is 5 years in military time, so it was perfect. The moving in was a little short, but we made it work.
When you know, you know.
When you know, you know.
Doesn't matter how fast you go, as long as it feels right.
I am unsure of a lot of things in life thanks to my brain, but I am sure as hell about you, for the most part. When my brain tells me.
Mm-hmm.
When my brain tells me, I can be sure of it. So, speaking of brain, had you heard of borderline before you met me?
Yeah, I'd heard of it, but I didn't really know the specifics. I just thought it was always kind of associated with bipolar.
And your thoughts on that now?
It is different. It is a different animal, different beast.
Yeah. So, did knowing I had it kind of change things for you?
No, didn't really change anything. It's you're still you. You have a condition, but it doesn't change it. The polite way to put it, but
you're conditioned.
But no, it doesn't really change anything. You're still you under all that, and that's who I fell in love with.
Oh, okay. Adorable. Was it easier or harder on a relationship, do you think?
Oh, definitely harder. Because I can't fix that, and I am a fixer. So I just scream internally, as I can't do anything to help you.
While I'm screaming externally.
Yeah, while you're screaming externally, I'm screaming internally.
It does suck because you can't fix it, because I'm also a fixer, and so when you were trying to give me solutions and I just want to scream into the void, basically, it's just so frustrating, because I'm like, if I could have fixed this by now, I would have.
Yeah.
And you're over here with your little mental handy tools, just I don't know how the screwdriver works.
The king of unsolicited advice.
Oh God, the king of unsolicited advice. I have learned to just look you straight in the face and go, I don't want to hear solutions or any kind of fixer. I just want to vent. And unless at the end of the day it's fuck that bitch, or well, they're awful. I don't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Or your situation sucks, honey. I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to hear when I'm in the middle of Vent Central, you
But
just being like, well, have you thought about talking to them? No, I don't want to talk to them.
have you thought about trying this? No, I just want to scream.
Literally. So, uh, so you've heard all the characteristics. You listened to me talk about this until I'm blue in the face. Um, but with all my explaining, why is she having a problem right now? Pause, guys. Okay, we're back. It's constant Jumanji here. You guys know in an earlier episode, I had a cat knock over a entire stack of solo cups right in the middle, and my dog just likes to bork at anything that moves. So we're back. So, anyways, so we've gone over all of the characteristics and stuff like that. So what's one characteristic / symptom that you still cannot wrap your head around?
The splitting.
And why is that?
Because my brain just can't wrap around the fact that for an indeterminate amount of time, you will essentially become a different person, and then you'll switch back and not have a lot of the memory of like what you did during that time. This time period could be like a couple days to like a week, if not longer.
I mean, I think my worst split that I talked about on last week's episode was like 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
From like November to January, and then like randomly looked at you and I was like, no, I like this one. Like it was so fucked, but it's just literally how it works. And then we spent like, God, 4 to 5 months trying to kind of just rebuild the moat that had been created, because like, and like we'll get into all of that, but like the cliff notes is like, you were comfortable where things were, and I obviously was in a split, so I wasn't trying. So then we had to kind of like spend almost 6 months like rekindling, and now we're back in like a much better place.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we've worked through a lot, but we still, I mean, even a couple days ago, I was still like not, I was just struggling with some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, but so splitting's really like complicated for you to understand, which honestly, it's complicated for me to understand, and it's my brain, like it's my headspace. But what's the one that you think, and I think I already know the answer to this, but what do you think puts the biggest strain on our relationship?
The rage. The rage.
I am an angry little gremlin.
You can be.
And I guess it's a stupid question, but why does that put the biggest strain?
Well, it puts the strain because I'm not perfect, and sometimes your rage can be justified. Like, oh yeah, crap, that's my bad. I understand why you're angry. But then other times I'm just like, why is she angry? This doesn't make sense why she's angry. So sometimes like it's just that I take feedback and like, oh yeah, she's mad. Okay, probably don't do that anymore, stupid. But then like it
You're
just
not
gets
stupid.
well, just how man brain thing.
Yeah, I know. But I just want to clarify that and make that abundantly clear that I don't think you're stupid. I've never called you stupid.
No. But yeah, so it's like sometimes like, well, was this actually my fault or is this just the rage? And sometimes it can be confusing for me.
I think with the rage, it's like a double whammy because I also have ADHD. So the ADHD rage with the BPD rage, and just the complete like lack of being able to emotionally regulate no matter how hard I try. Like, I will, in the back of my brain, I have like this little secretary that's like sitting at a desk with a notebook, like, this was excessive. You're still going. Oh, you're still going. Okay. Um, we're gonna bank that under feel horribly guilty and try to like self-destruct relationship because you're a bad person. We'll put that in the shame bank over here, to be used in about 20 minutes once you're over this. Like, it's the emotional, we want the emotional regulation to be there. And well, I'll just say this is my perspective, but like as a whole, I'm sure a lot of people listening to this that have BPD or even ADHD rage can kind of relate. I I know the emotional regulation. I know the skills. I literally was in 7 months of uh DBT group therapy learning the like 250 freaking skills that have to do with BPD and all of that. So to not be able to just automatically regulate is like incredibly frustrating. So there's that. Um so we have one more question for this episode, because next week is a big one. Um so final question for this episode. Do you think I've gotten better, worse, or am I kind of back and forth in the 3 years that you've known me?
You've gotten better. It's kind of like a stock market process. Like we have our we have like up and down, but like it's generally making like an up incline. Is my
Good.
is my thought process on that.
What I aim for. So yeah, guys, next week we're really getting into it. We're actually going to get into what our biggest fight was, our lowest point. We're going to, and it's not to kind of air out our dirty laundry, it's because the differing perspectives on this fight were so like my perspective was out of left field, but because, the brain. So I think it's really important that we talk about it, not to air our dirty laundry out, but to kind of show how his brain processes things and how my brain processes it, because I think it's going to really help people better understand other than, you know, just trying to explain it from one end. And so, yeah, we're going to be chit chatting about all of that next week. And then the week after that, he's going to give y'all some advice since he's a fixer. So he's going to help fix.
King of unsolicited advice coming at you.
So, thank you guys so much for listening. I know that this was heavily and highly requested, but still it means a lot to me that you guys are tuning in every week, and especially, the next couple episodes are going to be super informative and a lot, and y'all are going to learn way more about me than you anticipated, but we're going to do the damn thing. So until next week, stay hot, stay messy.